My name is Oleg K. I am qualified to practice as a solicitor in New South Wales, Australia, and England and Wales. I studied law in Sydney, Australia, where I also qualified as a solicitor and worked for a number of years. I then joined a UK magic circle firm in Moscow, Russia, and I've also had a number of years working in an Australian bank in a loan structuring and execution team. I've considered doing the QLTS for a number of years, having worked in a UK law firm and practicing effectively English law in banking and finance, which is the area that I work in. But having come back to a UK magic circle firm most recently, it just became clear that it's helpful for both the clients and the firm generally for me to be English law qualified. I found sort of when I started the research for what needs to be done for QLTS, I found that the information was quite difficult to come by. I also, having a full-time job and family, time is also of the essence. So I thought it was just essential to actually have some help and structure to what I was studying and how. I found it very useful, actually. As expected, I didn't have enough time to study, and I actually found the resources which are available to me and the people who are able to help over the phone extremely helpful. And as it turned out, I was able to pass both exams at first time, so it was very helpful. I actually found the MCT exam questions online pretty much essential to any preparation. In fact, the whole of the MCT course was very helpful. I had booklets which were easy to read and easy to access, and the practice questions which were actually very similar to what the real exam questions were in terms of structure and in terms of the topics covered. It wasn't easy in terms of, in a full-time job and also in a legal firm. It's difficult to predict how any particular week is going to turn out. There were times that I was able to do more hours during the week and then on the weekend. There were times that I couldn't do any study. But what I did try to do was every week try to read at least some of the material and take on some of the practice questions. And that's really the only way to get through the exams, is to just force yourself to spend time on the materials and the learning. They were extremely supportive, actually, and both in terms of allowing me time to study, taking time off for the exams, and providing the resources to actually undertake the course. So very helpful. I actually found myself more prepared for the MCT exam. I think it was partly to do with allowing myself more time to study. I also found the online practice questions very helpful, so by the time the exam came along, I felt in good shape. Less so for the OSCE exam, but again, I had time to practice. I had time to practice with a tutor online and through Skype, so I was ready to do it. I work in a banking and finance group here in Moscow, Russia. I'm a senior associate, so I have responsibility for the associates and trainees that work in this office. It's quite early days. I've only recently completed the exams, but I'm very glad that I've done the exam. I've already noticed in terms of just internally within the firm, but also externally with the clients, just the presentation aspect of being English qualified when you're undertaking English transactional work. It is actually helpful. I think that the preparation course is essential. I mean, of course, a lot depends on personal circumstances, but for anyone who's planning to undertake the course, who has a job or a family or both, I think it's absolutely essential in terms of just giving you structure to study, but also to save time just searching for materials and searching for an ability to actually practice before the exam. The advice would be to not underestimate the volume of the work involved, and allow yourself enough time to study. And really, when I say enough time, I mean 3-4 months at least. And that's sort of what I found most useful, is just allowing yourself time to both study and then practice the exam questions. I think it would be most useful to people who are as I said, in a full-time job and or have other commitments that sort of limit their time. Now, I think it can be useful to anyone, again, because it gives structure. It allows you to sort of prepare in a structured way, which I found helpful. But specifically for people who are short of time. I think most probably being flexible and mobile in terms of where you end up practicing law and how and in what area. You know, things change all the time. A financial crisis, world is changing. I think if you're somebody who's willing to move, be flexible and learn on your feet, then you'll do well.